Purdue Fort Wayne wearing alternate gray jerseys here at home after the white ones didn't produce a win back on Thursday. It's Bobby Planutis in the corner. Open look doesn't fall. Nice effort to try to save it, but it goes right to Marquez Warwick.
Yeah, when things aren't going your way, you try to change up anything you can. So maybe that's what it takes for Purdue Fort Wayne today is a little bit of a jersey change.
Were you a superstitious player?
I was pregame, but I wish in my playing days we did have alternate jerseys because that'd be kind of fun to play with.
Macedons last week on the road in Florida even broke out the alternate gold road jerseys. Rob Petty slapped that pass. It goes into the hands of Sabian Sims. There's Vinson. No good. And it was both Petty and Pipkins who are battling for the board. And there's a missed opportunity for the Dons. See Darren Horn, head coach in his third season at NKU, and there's John Kaufman in his 8th year at Purdue Fort Wayne, but only his 2nd coaching in the Horizon League, with the Macedons transitioning in from the Summit League.
You already can tell, John, it's only 47 seconds into this game, but you can tell both teams are playing with a ton of energy. You can see how that was made a point of emphasis for each team yesterday in their little pregame practice that they had, and they're coming out here, everybody's talking, and they're flying around.
Absolutely. There's Pipkins, corner pop. Doesn't drop. Well, yeah, after Thursday's game for the Macedons, John Kaufman, more so than any kind of lack of execution, he was most disturbed by his team playing a step slow, and perhaps it was somewhat excusable. They had had 3 games in 3 days down in Fort Myers, Florida, right after Thanksgiving. And there is a 3 for Vinson to start the scoring.
Yeah, Coach Kaufman made a mention of it too, that, he did that schedule on purpose, right? Because it's going to build toughness for your games later on in the season when it's been a really tough league play. You're getting into your league conference tournament. Like these games that they're playing here in November and this little stretch really is going to matter.
No doubt about it. There's Pipkin on the baseline drive.
I fully expect Pipkins to have a bounce-back game than he did Thursday night. He's a senior. He knows what it takes to win games, get out of a slump. So I fully expect him to bounce back today.
Yeah, he did not reach double-figure scoring, which he typically does. Enters today still averaging a dozen a game. Rob Petty, big man, has been maybe the biggest pleasant surprise for Purdue Fort Wayne because a lot of people were expecting this out of Jared Godfrey, and his 3 gives the Dons their first lead today.
Yeah, a little different scenario here for the Dons too, where they're going to see a lot of zone today from Northern Kentucky, and that's something that you can prepare for a little bit leading up to it, but having a one-day preparation per se, it's just kind of running through your stuff, and you could hear Coach Kaufman say, just try to get downhill on the zone.
They extend that pressure, and it leads to Godfrey stepping out of bounds for a turnover. And now Deontay Phillips is the first man in off the bench for the Dons. Phillips has been their top 3-point shooter this year. 45% from behind the arc. Has made about 2 threes a game. Both these teams not shy to let it fly from distance. Northern Kentucky comes in making 10 threes per game as a team. That tops the Horizon League so far. Pavorius, no good. And now it's Godfrey looking to run. Another turnover. By the way, our officials today, Rob Riley, Michael Kitts, and Tony Meeks. It's been a busy week for Rob Riley. Earlier in the week, he was officiating that Ohio State upset over Duke. He also worked the Michigan State-Louisville game in the Big Ten ACC Challenge.
Quite a incredible week for a ref to have those 2 type of games. I tuned in for a couple of those. Those were some thrillers.
Absolutely, especially seeing #1 Duke go down. Here in Indiana, a lot of excited Purdue Boilermaker fans right now. They beat Iowa last night, seems set to go to #1 in the country for the first time ever Near the rim, it's Adrian Nelson. Well, he has been one of the nation's best rebounders this year. Gets an easy 2 around the rim to tie it up. Damian Shanqui knifes through the defense, finds Billups, follows his miss. And Purdue Fort Wayne, speaking of records, how about Conchar having a hand in the Grizzlies, setting an all-time NBA record for margin of victory over Oklahoma City a couple nights ago.
Yeah, that was a complete beatdown that the Grizzlies put on Oklahoma City. And, yeah, that was cool to see his highlight on SportsCenter Top 10 of an emphatic dunk with a foul to eclipse that most points that a team is beaten by.
Conchar finished with 17, and we certainly saw some highlights like that when he was here. Out of the timeout, Northern Kentucky turns it over. And now Purdue Fort Wayne looking to go back ahead. They respect the jump shot, so Godfrey with the shot fake then shows his ability to slash too. And now a mistake. David Bam stepped over the baseline to turn it over, and there's the energy on the Mastodons bench you were looking for.
And absolutely. That's one big thing here. But then also something happened right there that was going to go unseen is Billups being able to come back from half court to actually deny that pass and to make it easy. That forced that turnover.
Sure did. Now it's Billups in the corner. He's pressured. Outside to Shanqui. Remember, in case you missed it off the top, Northern Kentucky without its go-to senior Trayvon Faulkner in concussion protocol after he hit the floor hard a couple nights ago at Cleveland State. He did re-enter that game. That was something that happened in the first half. Hope that Trayvon's okay, but glad to see everyone looking out for his health and well-being. After the Planutis bucket, it's Purdue Fort Wayne up by 4. Offensive rebound, Chris Brandon sets it up for Warwick, no good. The tip won't fall for Bam, and the Dons will get it.
Yeah, that's one thing that Northern Kentucky is really good at is offensive rebounds, and you saw in this last possession that they were able to get their hands on 2 balls, so that's something that Purdue Fort Wayne has made an emphasis yesterday in practice. They're going to have to continue to do tonight is make sure they're putting bodies on men's to block out.
For sure. And how about the energy on the Mastodons bench being contagious enough, extending to the coaching staff? Assistant Adam Blaylock getting active down towards the baseline.
That's what you want to see. That's what you need. Sometimes, you lead by example, right? If the coaches are going to preach it, then there's no reason why you can't do it as a coach. And that just is a contagious energy.
Pipkins driving, looking for Petty. It's a turnover. Planutis replaces Billups before Bam will toss it back in. Purdue Fort Wayne and Northern Kentucky, 2 schools that have a history dating back to their Division II eras. First played in 1981, then had gone about 2 decades without playing until Purdue Fort Wayne joined the Horizon League last year. And last year, it was a couple of Norse victories on back-to-back nights down at BB&T Arena in Highland Heights, Kentucky, right across from Cincinnati. Had that different scheduling format last year, just trying to get through the pandemic.
Yeah, it was odd to have back-to-back games on a Friday, Saturday against the same opponent. For coaching staffs, easy to scout, but then also for coaching staff, it's hard to make adjustments from game to game because you really don't have any time. It's just a walk through that next morning. That was it.
It's a shot clock violation. And again, the Purdue Fort Wayne bench fired up. 34, Cam Benford, backup big man. He's kind of the bench mob leader for that group.
Yeah, he is, and that's always good to see.
Yeah, a guy who doesn't fill up the stat sheet, modestly averaging 1.1 rebound per game, but he is a leader. Foul about 30 feet away from the basket. That whistled against Bam. His first team second. Purdue Fort Wayne has not been called for a foul yet. Almost 7 minutes in.
It's pretty impressive.
Well, they're playing with that high-level intensity and not fouling. No good for Planutis in the corner. And the foul goes against NKU. Trying to box out Petty on the offensive glass. This matchup actually features two of the best offensive rebounders in the entire country. Petty has averaged about 3 offensive rebounds per game. That's 14th in the nation. And then Adrian Nelson for Northern Kentucky. He's 7th overall in the country, averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game.
And that may not seem like a very big number, like 4, but that's a lot of offensive rebounds per game. It's a lot.
And that's a 3 for Pipkins. That makes the lead 7 for the Mastodons. The freshman, Vincent, dishes into the corner. Langdon. Late shot clock.
That's a tough possession if you're a Mastodon, because you did so well defensively for 28 seconds, being able to slide your feet, cutting some passes off, and then just one little instance where it's just an overhelp when it wasn't needed, and it leads to a foul.
It's 2 free throws for Chris Brandon. It's his first year at Northern Kentucky, although not his first year in the Horizon League. Spent the last 3 seasons at the University of Detroit Mercy. A couple of years ago, or I should say the last 2 seasons there, a couple of years ago on the Horizon League's all-defensive team. He was a starter for the Titans. And he's been a factor early on this season. Top 3 in the league in block shots. He gets 1 of 2 at the line, 6-point game.
You know, one thing we've been keeping track of, John, is offensive rebounds, and Northern Kentucky already has 4 offensive rebounds through the first 8 minutes of this game. So pretty impressive start on their end.
RJ Ogum to Jarvis Walker. Guys off the bench with a spark.
Yeah, absolutely. They need that spark. You know, that's something Coach Kaufman emphasized early on in the season, was to, get a deep bench. And it's kind of proven itself right now.
Ogum was impressive in the season opener against Earlham College, a Division III opponent. He has not played over the last 6 games. Now Northern Kentucky with a response, and that corner 3 to trim the lead back to 5. It was good for Trey Robinson.
Yeah, he was really impressive against Earlham in that first game. He brings a different type of big man mentality to the Dons.
7. But as far as the talent on these teams, Jared Godfrey preseason, 2nd team all-league. And for Northern Kentucky, both Marquez Warwick and Trayvon Faulkner on that 2nd team with Godfrey. But today, the Norse are without Trayvon Faulkner in concussion protocol. Well, without him, it's a chance for a guy like Trey Robinson to show his ability. Nice move there near the rim.
Yeah, a guy like Warwick for Northern Kentucky is, you look at his stat line here. This game, it's not up to par after he was the reigning, Horizon League Freshman of the Year last year. So, that's something that they made an emphasis on and done a good job to start the game.
There's a guy who was first team All-NEC last year, Damian Chanqui, the transfer in from Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, he's still a little bit banged up, probably not 100% healthy, so they're probably looking forward to, once this game gets over today, that he's got a little bit of a week to kind of get himself back into 100% playing shape now. You were talking about superstitions. I don't think Chanqui has any superstitions, because I think he changed his hair up, since Thursday night. So maybe that's all you need, is something to motivate you, is to just change something up.
That and the jersey change for the Mastodons and the alternate grays today. Godfrey missed that transition field goal attempt. And it's Robinson. Trey with his second three. Guy who came in averaging only 3 points per game so far this season. Well, he just scored 5 in a flurry, and he's got 8. Ten on the shot clock for Chongqui. Phillips for 3. Warwick took an extra step. There it is, Patrick Baldwin Jr. on that first team with the preseason player of the year, Antoine Davis. And Godfrey, Warwick, and Faulkner joined by Andre Golston of Milwaukee and Tanner Holden, who we saw with a big performance for Wright State on Thursday.
Yeah, we've been lucky here, John, the last 3 days to have some good talent that we've been able to see and call.
Well, and that'll be the case throughout the season here with the 12-team Horizon League. A lot of depth and parity to the league this season. Got Cleveland State right now ranked number 11. Or I should say Oakland, excuse me, currently ranked in the mid-major college basketball top 25. Cleveland State receiving votes after they were in the big dance last year. That's where John Kaufman's trying to get his group. Second foul of the half against Purdue Fort Wayne. It's the first on Jared Godfrey. For the baseline inbounds, Godfrey out replaced by Jalen Pipkins. Now reaching foul on Damian Chongqui. Senior from Baltimore. Joined in the backcourt right now by JoJo Peterson, a freshman from Georgia. And quickly Godfrey back in. He doesn't spend too much time on the bench. He's averaged 34 minutes a game this year. Yeah. Fort Wayne had a game last week, a week ago today, against Western Michigan in Florida that went to overtime, and he played more than 40 minutes. Good hustle by Jalen Pipkins to corral the steal. That effort, though, matched by Sam Vinson, and it's a jump ball.
Yeah, Godfrey's a guy that you can't keep out, very long. Just what he brings to the floor and all that.
Shot clock reset to 20 seconds. Pass out of bounds off of Pipkins. See some of the NKU guys standing up, trying to create their own energy too. Reality is, as you can see, this is an arena that at capacity can seat 12 to 13,000, and it is a lighter crowd today.
Yeah, and it makes it kind of easier for the coaches to be able to hear play calls from other coaches, as kind of was tuning in there. Is you're always trying to get an edge somehow. So if you can hear a coach call a play out, you might know that play for your team, so you're going to iterate to them that there's a screen coming here, or back cut here. So kind of the advantage and disadvantage of playing in a big arena with a sparse crowd today.
After Peterson's steal, Planutis finds Pipkins cutting back door. Count it, and the foul.
After the season, that's going to want to sign him. But his versatility that he can bring offensively, defensively, and then as you saw right there, some emotion that he plays with. I'm going to be excited too, John, to watch Patrick Baldwin Jr. when he comes to the Coliseum and plays. That's going to be a fun one to watch, and to see a guy as talented as he is.
For fans here in Northeast Indiana, They can mark that one down on the calendar for a Friday night in February 4th.
I'll be here.
Me too. I hope.
Yeah.
See if they let us back by then.
That's right.
Deeper bench for Northern Kentucky today. Jake Evans, number 24, a walk-on. Did not play last time out. Desperation shot no good. And there was a foul against the Norse on Sabian Sims.
Little funny instance there. Coach Kaufman's going to go sub in Billups, and he started to take his jersey off because he thought he had his warm-up shirt on. Little moment of laughter on the bench there between him and the coaches and the players.
Fortunately, any wardrobe malfunction avoided. As there was good effort in the corner. That was Bryson Langdon, who was diving for the loose ball and was quickly celebrated by his teammates. Again, both these teams, after losing their Horizon League opener, playing with an extra edge today, and especially Northern Kentucky. 4 of the last 5 years, they have won either the regular season or the conference tournament title in the Horizon League. So they've got a proud tradition, even though they've only been Division I for a decade. They've made it to the NCAA tournament 3 times. Trip to the NIT along the way as well. Shot clock at 3. It's Godfrey. Good.
That's so good. That type of play right there, where it looks like he's just going half speed, but it's so smooth, and he's not going half speed though. But to be able to get in there, weave in between defenders, and throw a nice little soft touch off the glass and in, it's a high-level player.
Speaking of impressive moves, how about that take by Sam Vinson, the freshman, headed to the line now. Vinson, each of the last 2 weeks, has been named the Horizon League's Freshman of the Week. And for Vinson, the accolades just continuing after a prolific high school career for him. He was the state of Kentucky's Gatorade Player of the Year, and it wasn't all about the individual effort for him too. Led his Highlands High School team to a state title.
It's hard to do. I'd never able to accomplish it, and I'm sure there's, I would say 90% of the people, playing on each team probably weren't able to accomplish it. But to be able to lead your high school team to a state championship, pretty impressive, and I'm sure he's got great memories of that.
Absolutely, and those who know him say that the key word describing him as a player is unselfish. He can score. Maybe today we'll look to score a little bit more. As Northern Kentucky plays without Marquez Warwick. But he's a guy who has earned the starting point guard role as a true freshman. Shot clock under 5, ball knocked away, stolen by Billups. Another good defensive possession by Purdue Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and if you're Purdue Fort Wayne, when you get a stop like that, you want to push that ball in transition, beat that zone, getting set up.
Billups has his second offensive rebound after a missed 3 so far today. And Petty stripped on the way up. Catch and shoot. Too strong for David Bam, and that's a strong rebound by Billups.
It is.
Pipkins in the front court. 5 minutes to go. First half, Purdue Fort Wayne up by 9. Sean Quee, NBA range 3. Sean Quee so far this season only 26% from behind the arc.
Yeah, it was a little quick trigger there by the Dons. I would thought they would have been able to
get ready for showtime this week. But on top of that, Also, tickets on sale for the Horizon League Championship. Dan's responsible for distributing good news like that Sam Vincent has gotten. Vincent has gotten the last couple weeks as the freshman of the week. Offensive rebound again for NKU. Bavorius' three way short, but it works as a pass to Chris Brandon, who sticks it in.
Yeah, you don't want to see that out of a timeout. You want to see that at timeout if you're Northern Kentucky, but if you're Purdue Fort Wayne, you definitely don't want to see giving up 3 offensive rebounds in a 1 possession there out of a timeout. Never take for granted a long rebound with one guy standing over under the rim that he's going to come up with the defense rebound for your team.
Walker finds Godfrey in the corner. And a rebound for David Bam. Remember, before the last time out, it was Jalen Pipkins who had, a 180 reverse dunk. That gave some life to Purdue Fort Wayne, forced NKU to call a timeout. Norse are playing hard, evidenced by those 11 offensive rebounds. Jarvis Walker driving, no good. There's an offensive rebound for the Dons, as Cameron Benford will go to the foul line.
Hard fall by Benford there.
Cam at 6'8", 250 pounds. Bounces back, looks okay. Cam now 2 for 3 at the line so far this season. Bavorius and Bam, a couple of the international players for the Norse, step out. Cam has never lived overseas, but he's lived all around the United States. Pennsylvania, Arizona, Texas, state of Washington. And I'm missing some. But he has found a home in Indiana as well.
Yeah, he's lived all over, and he likes all sorts of different shoes too. I remember hearing about him say he's a Puma guy, a Nike guy, which everybody can be a Nike guy, but then he also is a Vans guy. I haven't heard the Vans shoes it's been a minute. I don't know if you can. He must have to special order his size 16 shoes.
I would think.
Vans or Pumas.
Led by Jalen Pipkins and Jared Godfrey. Purdue Fort Wayne up 11. And really, regardless of even what transpires in the second half, the message obviously got across to these Purdue Fort Wayne players after they had a lack of energy and the loss on Thursday. As for Northern Kentucky, they had a tight first half, or at least first half of the first half at Cleveland State last week. They actually led in that game 16-15 before things got away and never really got back on track. Sean Quee, the lob, Pipkins hammers it down.
Wow.
Oh my!
Wow. Incredible, John.
Another highlight for Jalen Pipkins. And now Pip almost has a steal in the backcourt. Instead, it's a foul, and it gives everyone a chance to maybe catch their breath. Thought he already had the dunk of the day before. And right there, we're going to have to get another look. Oh,
tough.
Flexing for good reason. Now up to a dozen. The lead is 13. Northern Kentucky playing without their senior leader, Trayvon Faulkner. Mid-range jumper doesn't drop for Adrian Nelson. Purdue Fort Wayne pushes. This time, Sean Quee goes into the corner for Godfrey, and he's fouled on the floor. Purdue Fort Wayne's in the 1-on-1 bonus.
Could you get up like that, John, like Pipkins?
Yeah, not even on the little tykes hoop. I wouldn't be throwing down like that.
Maybe if we got a trampoline out there for you, you could.
Still not sure. Godfrey good on the free throw. The team is now 6 for 6 there at the line so far. Purdue Fort Wayne was perfect at the line last time out against Wright State, went 16 for 16, making it the most free throws the Macedons have ever made in a Division I contest. And I'm sure on the next miss now I will be blamed for passing along that great tidbit from Derek Sloboda in the Media Services Department here at Purdue Fort Wayne. Long three, good, Trey Robinson.
Yeah, he's coming into starting to have a really nice game, Trey Robinson is.
13 in this first half, already matching his season high. Robinson actually set his career high of 17 against Purdue Fort Wayne last season. So what about the Dons bringing out the best in him? It's Planutis, and he strokes it. That's a 2. Vincent, no. Planutis plucks down the rebound. Chankwi with the handle behind the back pass for Petty. Nice cut. And Planutis finishes. And so now it's going to be a litmus test here for Northern Kentucky on the road to see how they respond. Langdon, skip pass, out of bounds. Shot does not go anyway for Trey Robinson, but that was close to our vantage point. And Robinson had about half of his foot out of bounds.
He definitely did, and if you're Purdue Fort Wayne, that's a nice little break right there because now you've got 6 seconds to get something to the rim and being able to get a bucket here towards the end of the half and really cap off a really, really nice half.
Pipkins catch and shoot. Across the Horizon League by encouraging student athletes to be the change. Underway in the second half. It's Purdue Fort Wayne and Northern Kentucky, the Macedons, allowing just 20 points in that first half. But here it's a steal for NKU to start the second stanza. The runner won't drop for Marquez Warwick.
Pivotal first 5-10 minutes of this half for Northern Kentucky. Can they match Purdue Fort Wayne's energy from the first half to help them get back into this to start of this half? A lot of basketball to be played left, but a pretty lackluster first half on their part, probably not what they wanted. So this is a nice little pivotal start here to see if they can regain some momentum, some energy.
We shall see. Shot clock at 3. Chankwi. That's a shot clock violation. Purdue Fort Wayne not sharp itself here in this first minute. And good defensive effort on consecutive possessions by the Norse. Kiwi, what's this experience like for a team missing one of their key go-to guys like the Norse are experiencing here without Trayvon Faulkner, who's out in concussion protocol?
Yeah, it's different in the aspect when you really you always rely on your best player to go get you a point when needed. When you're down or in a hole or something like that, you always rely on your best player to get you out of it. And Northern Kentucky struggling with that right now. They can't figure that out.
And one, Rob Petty, and the lead expands to 18. Foul goes against Adrian Nelson. And So that stretch of consecutive free throws made for Purdue Fort Wayne, 16 for 16 last game, 7 for 7 so far today, comes to an end. Blame the announcers, Jinx, for bringing it up before, right?
Gosh darn it, John.
Trey Robinson travels. Well, Robinson had 13 in the first half. This is kind of crazy to look at, but nobody else had more than 3 points for NKU. And still, to this point now, almost 22 minutes into this game, no one else has more than 3 points.
Yeah, and you're going to look for a guy like Warwick to try to help get out of that slump as well. Reigning Horizon League Freshman of the Year. He's capable of putting some big numbers up, and if you're Coach Horn, you're just looking and hoping that 1-2 other guys can kind of help out here.
And talking with Darren Horn yesterday, he was looking for his team to be more consistent. Clearly, they have not been so far today. Nice pass, Pipkins to Planutis, shot clock winding down. Offensive rebound for Rob Petty. Kick out. Sean Quee drives. Taken away by Warwick. Sims, a transfer from North Dakota, hands it off for Warwick. Right by Godfrey. And a foul. It's on Bobby Planutis.
A little lackluster to start this half, in my opinion. Just it's not with 2.5 minutes into this half. You'd expect a little bit more energy or excitement from both teams, and it just kind of seems like it's just at a monotone pace here. So, which is interesting because each team wants to get off to a really strong start to the half.
Both free throws good for Warwick. Well, what do you think? I mean, this is a Saturday afternoon, mostly empty building, coming after conference opening games on Thursday night. That's got to be kind of an adrenaline rush, so it'd be tough to sustain. At least Purdue Fort Wayne certainly brought the fire for the first 20 minutes. Now they have to deal with full court pressure from the Norse. Sean Quee breaks down the defense on the dribble. Shot altered by Nelson. Macedons maintain it. Shot clock at 7 for Godfrey. Planutis. In and out. Another offensive rebound for Petty. It's tapped around. And the Dons get it again. Planutis for 3. And at last, Northern Kentucky controls the rebounds. One thing that makes this defensive performance for Purdue Fort Wayne, as it continues right now, Godfrey the steal. And the flush. I mean, Kibbe, it's kind of hard to believe this is the same Purdue Fort Wayne team that got torched, to put it accurately, against Wright State the other night. And they gave up 85 points last Sunday to Florida Gulf Coast, 93 in an overtime loss to Western Michigan.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It does look like a completely different team than the one we saw 2 nights ago.
After the timeout, a 5-second count called against the inbounder Damian Chanquis to turn it over.
Really nice effort there on Northern Kentucky's part, being able to deny the inbounders, but also guarding that ball on that out of bounds. Did a really nice job of not letting Chanquis get in any easy lane to see anybody.
And now they chip into the deficit, 2 for Adrian Nelson. With Trayvon Faulkner out, Nelson's the only real senior On the floor for NKU. Shot clock under 3. It's Planutis for 3. And the rebound for the Norse. Nice take and the finish, Sam Vinson. NKU stringing together some good possessions on both ends.
Yeah, this press that they've implemented here has kind of just sped up Purdue Fort Wayne up a little bit more than they probably would have liked. You know, you're playing, they like to play fast, but now they're playing fast at Northern Kentucky's pace, not their own pace. But it all could get erased really easily with some easy buckets.
Shot clock again, almost about to expire, and Phillips beats the buzzer.
Perfect example right there. You know, you're getting sped up, and all of a sudden, you know, you get a nice little step back 3 right at the shot clock buzzer, and that's a dagger if you're Northern Kentucky, though, because he played so well defensively.
Al Vinson showing his toughness, picking things up. Phillips was out of bounds. I think this is a product in part because playing on this NBA court, it's also home to the NBA G League affiliated Fort Wayne Mad Ants, part of the Pacers organization. So guys are always putting themselves behind that NBA three-point line rather than the college line, and so they're costing themselves a little bit of space.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines, three-point lines here at the Coliseum. And it's...
Yeah, at this point there's a couple that don't even need to be out there. Really, this venue hasn't hosted a high school game in a while.
Yeah, you could take the high school line out, then you could take the old college 3 line out, which is that gold line, and really could theoretically only have the 2 that are needed.
You got any free Saturdays coming up?
No.
Not sure the exact process of removing.
I think that would entail buying a brand new court.
It's Jake Evans at the line, good on the first of a couple. Mentioned before that Evans is a walk-on in this NKU program, but certainly a very capable one at that. His high school in Kentucky, male high school, it's the #1 team in the state, and he was their starting point guard. And he actually started a game last year as a freshman. Don't look now, it's a 13-point game. If you're NKU right now, you got to think they haven't really played well at all, and it's a 13-point game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right in this thing. You're only a few stops away and a nice run, and this is a single-digit 2-possession game at some point, possibly.
Just got another stop. Now Vinson in attack mode, and it spins in. Sam Vinson showing his potential here in this second half. Purdue Fort Wayne is 1 for its last 11, and that one make was the desperation 3 for Billups. NKU is really locked in defensively, and the Mastodons have not met the challenge. Now Walker turns it over. And there's some juice there on that Norse bench.
Just how you want it if you're Coach Horn, right? You've implemented a press. That's given Purdue Fort Wayne a little bit of fits. They've been able to get a nice little trap at half court, making Purdue Fort Wayne throw long over-the-top passes, which take time.
Vinson fouled on the floor. And this NKU program's got a championship pedigree. Last year made it to the Horizon League semifinals after a third-place finish in the regular season. A couple years ago, they won the Horizon League tournament. Vincent through contact, no bucket or foul. Things are getting physical. So Vincent may have been fouled, but he just got away with first mugging Petty, now all over Jalen Pipkins. And this is surprising to see, especially considering that Rob Riley is one of our officials today. And the game got a little bit out of control here. And
you look at Houston, the Cougars football team has won 10 straight coming into this game against Cincinnati. So if there was going to be an upset, I think that's the one that could happen today. And you know, just might as well pick a underdog.
I like it. Well, hey, on this college football field Saturday, thanks for fitting some hoops in as well. Early season Horizon League action with a 22-game schedule, just like you're seeing in other leagues like the Big Ten, the ACC, etc. Some conference games mixed in here in December. Jalen Pipkins, the shot fake, mid-range jumper. Dons are ice cold. Again, I will say their pregame warm-up video, hype video, starts with the lyrics, icy cold. They're playing here on the floor that's over a hockey rink, so it is physically cold, and the shooting figuratively has been as well. And now a chance for two at the line for Chris Brandon. Allen County War Memorial Coliseum, a versatile venue. Last night had Fort Wayne Comets hockey in the ECHL. It's kind of like AA level hockey. They're affiliated with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And believe it or not, there's going to be a hockey game again here tonight.
Yeah, there will be.
Just before the college basketball season started, there was an MMA event. Fight night, Art of Scrap.
Props to the staff of the Memorial Coliseum for quick turnaround from basketball game Thursday night, hockey game Friday night, to basketball game today at 1, to hockey game tonight. That takes a lot of work and effort. So
yeah, a lot of physical work, and they'll have to work quickly. So hopefully some overtime pay in there, perhaps. Pipkins, good. That's a leader play right there.
Absolutely. And Chong Kui did a really nice job of breaking that press and being able, and Pipkins found a nice little open gap to get into, and just was really patient, being able to get that floater to go.
Langdon stripped away by Chong Kui. And Macedon start to roll again. Purdue Fort Wayne is led by as many as 18. Petty in the post. Shot clock under 10. Planutis fouled. Across the court, we could hear John Kaufman saying great poise. I mean, his team's gotten used to the shot clock winding down here. They have not gotten easy looks against the effort of this NKU defense in the second half, but ultimately it was Godfrey finding Planutis. Strong drive and the foul against Brandon.
Yeah, you know, that was, what he means by great poise is easily, Godfrey easily could have, whether it was shoot a quick shot when he had the ball in there in the wing, but he was so patient of making the right play, seeing what the defense was giving them, and that's what Coach Kaufman means there by the great poise.
So it leads to 2 free throws for Planutis, who is replaced by Deontay Billups. They call him Billy. The Norse shooting just 28%. Consider this, opponents against Purdue Fort Wayne this year have shot pretty close to 50%. Pipkins on the floor. And is called for a foul. Bob Riley, in this instance, does call a foul. Thought it looked like a clean steal for Pipkins in terms of getting the ball. Then there was contact with Warwick's leg, so hard to sort that out.
Yeah, it's probably one of those where a few possessions earlier when it looked like a football game out there that
now Peterson with the bump.
That they, the refs got an earful from Coach Kaufman, and they probably recognize they missed it. So now they're just kind of clean everything up, and they're gonna have to make that call every time now coming down the stretch. But that was a really nice defensive effort there on Pipkins. So I thought it was a clean strip and everything.
Each side has been called for 5 fouls so far. There's Adrian Nelson inside. Full court pressure. Pipkins surges into the front court, finds Billups. Off the glass. Three no good for Evans. Billups now for 3. Could hear a thud as Nelson was fouled by Benford. Nelson, 6'8", 225-pound senior. And Sam Vincent comes back in. Petty.
That was a really nice post up on his part. Was able to get the defender on his back underneath the basket and just hold him there, and just Chonqueen made a nice, tough, one-handed bounce pass in there.
Mid-range jumper, pure. Bryson Langdon. He was a starter for them last year. Now coming off the bench, he's got a knack for being a clutch guy. Right now, every possession pretty important for NKU, trying to rally and avoid an 0-2 start in the Horizon League. Who will reach the Horizon? More info at horizonleague.com/Indy. And remember, use Indy22 as a promo code for special savings. Rob Petty good on the free throw. And that finishes off a 3-point play. Purdue-Fort Wayne back up by 17.
Now we'll get a nice little early look at Indianapolis tonight.
Yeah, we mentioned before how you are a Michigan Wolverines football fan. And so, yeah, are you going to have enough time to stick with us till the final buzzer here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As soon as that buzzer sounds, I'll be packing up and getting out.
Tickets secured to go down to Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. Are you expecting a hard-fought game with Iowa? Or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real hard-fought game. I don't think it'll be more. Obviously I picked Michigan to win. I think it'll be between a 10 to 17 point game. But going back to this game, John, the stat sheet doesn't show it. But I've been really impressed tonight, or this afternoon, by Chonqueen.
In this instance, misses on the front end of the 1-and-1, but otherwise, yeah, it's really shown another gear.
It doesn't show up on his stat sheet right now, but his defensive presence, the way he's been handling the offense and leading them on their breaks and in their half court, it's been really impressive.
Yeah, right now you can see Chonqueen maybe hobbling a little bit with an ankle injury during the Mastodon's second home game of the season here against Austin Peay. He had a really ugly-looking sprained ankle and has been playing through that of late. Perhaps something that has hampered his performance in the early going this year. But such a gritty, hard-nosed guy. You want to talk about football type of toughness. Chonqueen's got that. Now a jump ball, and the arrow gives it to Northern Kentucky. Well, for the Norse, playing without their standout Trayvon Faulkner, their leader in scoring and for that matter. Also 3-point shooting. To let our production crew know, we're actually not going to a break, so we are staying here live. There's not a timeout, just a jump ball. Vinson for three. Northern Kentucky entered this game making 10 threes, a contest tops in the Horizon League. They are only 4 for 16 from behind the arc so far, so just 25%. That's 10 percentage points lower than they're used to. Phillips, the bucket. Good look. Evans, yes. His first three of the season. Purdue Fort Wayne has actually been worse from three today. They're 4 for 21, 19%. Again, the Mastodons, over the last 5 years, they've been top 10 in the country in threes. Part of their identity.
Yeah, and Purdue Fort Wayne's had some good looks, and there's a real nice look to.
Oh, it's only a matter of time, especially with Planudis, as pure of a shooter as there is. He had been 0 for 4 prior to that. Corner three for Trey Robinson. That goes. This is the type of game I think we thought we might have throughout, trading baskets from the outside. It took about 35 minutes for it to start to happen. Pipkins, the teardrop. Petty, the offensive board and put back. Nine points, 9 rebounds today for Rob Petty, who had his first career double-double a couple outings ago. Godfrey steps into the three. Evans
expected the first half or the whole game to go, but you know, if you're Northern Kentucky, you're just, you know, try to 4-minute segment, try to get a stop and get yourself on a run.
Godfrey, corner three. And the rebound for Chris Brandon. 29 bench points for NKU so far today. Their depth is something that Darren Horn thinks should be one of their strengths for Pip, who last time out had a subpar performance for his standards in the loss against Wright State. Scored only 4 points last game. It's a 10-second count. It's been surprising to see Purdue Fort Wayne out of timeouts a couple times today. Have a 5-second violation here, a 10-second violation. Now they've overcome it and they're still in a healthy spot here today. But those are some little things, maybe not so little, that you can't continue going forward this year.
No, because
now an offensive foul called as Jake Evans was setting the screen.
Yeah, I mean, John, you're at a 14-point game. You're under 4 minutes. You're on the crisp of putting this game away, and you have a little bit of a, you know, even for both teams, a turnover like that, it's just unnecessary. You know, you can't have those.
Here's another. Evans for 2. Fort Wayne beats the press, but now Godfrey was out of bounds. And both sides, we've touched on this, both sides have done that multiple times.
Yeah, they really have, and pretty uncharacteristic from high-level basketball players. You always need to know where you're at and your awareness on the court, and we've seen quite a bit of that today.
Not going to hang this one in the Louvre. Petty with the block. 17 turnovers for Northern Kentucky today, 17 turnovers for Purdue Fort Wayne. Macedons came in averaging only 13 turnovers a game. Pipkins fouled. On Sam Vincent. Say it was on the floor rather than in the act of shooting. Great, I think that was in the act of shooting. It's 2 for Pipkins, makes the first anyway. Moot point going forward as it's now 9 fouls against Northern Kentucky, so the Macedons are in the double bonus for the duration.
You know, if you're Purdue Fort Wayne, you're just trying to string together just a stop or two and ice your shot clock as late as you can on the offensive possession and get a bucket. And if you're Northern Kentucky, you got to put some stress on Purdue Fort Wayne as much as you can by trying to get either a couple quick easy twos or start, you know, drawing something up from 3.
Kickball on John Quee. And this trip in particular, a good example of the job defensively that Jalen Pipkins has done in this game too, and keeping Warwick quiet.
He really has. You know.
I mean, Warwick, a non-factor in this game, 0 for 7 from the field, just 2 points on a couple of foul shots. And we thought that Warwick would be the guy to pick up the load with Faulkner out, but Warwick, after his freshman of the year performance last year, has had something of a sophomore slump.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has happened today, unfortunately for him in Northern Kentucky. But you know,
nice
credit
pass,
Jalen
Petty
Pipkins.
to Pipkins, and that rattles down. Petty with 3 assists to go along with the 9 points and 9 rebounds. Now a foul on Petty, but only his second.
I don't know about that call there, John. They called it on Petty with inside leverage on that rebound, so I'm not sure what the call was, but it didn't really matter for him, I guess.
Some would say ball don't lie as Nelson misses on the front end of the 1-and-1. Taken away by Vincent. Pull up 3. Nice hustle. Gets the offensive rebound. Well, I know for Norse fans frustrated with the performance of the team.
With their finals coming up, good luck to them in that. And then right before New Year.
By the way, Purdue Fort Wayne and Northern Kentucky will meet up again at BB&T Arena in Highland Heights, Kentucky. It'll be on January 28th. Foul went against Vincent, his 5th, so he's out, and Pipkins has a chance to add to his line. And today Pipkins also got back to being efficient. 7 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. That's in line with last year when he was 4th in the league in shooting percentage.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a really just a sound game.
Shows you his value with him not playing at his best, and he wasn't the only one last time out against Wright State, but Macedons were really never in the game in the second half against the Raiders.
Yeah, he's a difference maker, and it's not. He's not a difference maker because he can, you're looking at him score 40 points. It's he does a lot of little things. He's guarding the team's best player. He's getting highlight dunks like you've seen. Like that type of stuff goes a long way to bring energy and excitement to the team, to the crowd.
Macedons have pretty much controlled this one wire to wire. Godfrey expands the lead to 17, less than 17 seconds to go. Trey Robinson will fall just 1 point shy of his career high as Godfrey was out of bounds, grabbing the loose ball. Didn't have a chance to get to the Northern Kentucky schedule coming up. They'll also return to non-conference play on Wednesday. That'll be against Canisius from the MAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Canisius out of Buffalo. Langdon good. Too little, too late.
Nice bounce back win though for Purdue Fort Wayne after a really tough